Ho, 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 gentlemen. The holidays have come early this year as Manscaped have the gift that keeps on trimming. Santa's beard isn't so appealing when it's coming out of your trousers, and that's why Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, have you covered this holiday season. Now available in your country, join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped to keep their trees trimmed and ornaments polished. Go to manscaped.com and use code DTR for 20% off plus free shipping.
Stafford under pressure, and a tuck it, and he's in! Darrell Henderson, he's off and running! Has Woods, touchdown! Cooper Kupp just went up and took it away.
Van Jefferson for the touchdown.
Aaron Donald smothers him. Jalen Ramsey with the pop-up. Sacked by Leonard Floyd, having a day again.
Darius Williams with a diving hit. Jordan Fuller comes up with his second interception of the night.
All right, guys, welcome back to Downtown Rams. As always, I'm your host, Alexis Kraft, joined here with my co-host, Jake Ellenbogen, and we are coming to you guys a day after our divisional round matchup win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay, where the Rams won 30-27. And guys, there was a lot of good playoff football this weekend if you watched all 4 games. And by good, I mean entertaining. And my heart rate is finally now back to normal after this Rams game. Jake, I think, is in the same boat as me. But guys, here's the thing. We did beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a field goal in the end of the game, 0 seconds off the clock when Matt Gay won the game for us. However, there was a point in this game where the Rams were winning 27-3. And somehow Tampa Bay was able to come back and tie it 27-27 with an amazing fourth quarter run. Now, here's where, it's as a Rams fan, we're all ecstatic that we won. I'm ecstatic. I absolutely had total faith in our team. We came out and played super strong. We, for the most part of the game, absolutely dominated Tampa Bay. I don't know that I've seen Tom Brady have a worse first half in his career. I don't know. I'm not claiming that I've seen every Tom Brady game, but I've seen him play in the playoffs a lot. And I don't think that I've ever seen him have a worse first half than he did against the Rams in his entire career now, 20 years later. However, he did what Tom Brady does and absolutely lit it up at the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter of this game. And the Rams absolutely dropped the ball at the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter of this game. Thank God Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp made 2 awesome plays to win it for us at the end of the fourth quarter, and we ended up winning. Now, Jake, let's start this off by talking about the good stuff that the Rams did. Let's look at the first half of this game and the majority of the third quarter. In my opinion, our defense obviously stepped up. You can't ever win games if your defense doesn't step up, but our offense looked super fluid. We played really, really well against Tampa Bay. Again, not taking anything away from our defense, but I want to put some emphasis on Matthew Stafford here. Matthew Stafford looked really good. He seemed to make really good decisions. He made good throws, no interceptions, and we had really good ball security, which again, when we talk about the game later, we're going to cover ball security. But Jake, when you look at the first 3 quarters of this game, what was it that made the Rams stand out from Tampa Bay? What was it that made it so easy for us to just absolutely dominate them?
Yeah, Alexis, I think really what it came down to, and, I think when you play a team and you feel that confident about them, Sean McVay has always done a really nice job against Todd Bowles, defensive coordinator, and his defense. And, the thing with Todd Bowles is that he likes to bring pressure. And Matthew Stafford, as I think a lot of people have talked about, is the best in the league, or among one of the best in the league, in passing against the blitz. And, there was a lot of opportunities where I think, the Buccaneers were trying to bring pressure and really, force him to make some quick decisions. There's, having different zone blitzes and things along that nature where you have to make a quick decision. They're fine giving up the open field, but they're basically banking on their rush getting to you and affecting your throw before you get it to the receiver. And I just think credit to Matthew Stafford with no run game to speak of in this one. Tampa just did an outstanding job against the run. Stafford really put it all on his shoulders, and he really led this team the way he did earlier in the year, but then some. And to me, what it comes down to is everyone's been talking about how, well, the Rams are going to have to win games, despite Stafford turning the ball over. Alexis, there were 4 giveaways in this game, and neither of them had anything to do with Stafford. You had the Brian Allen snap that clearly Stafford had not hiked the ball for. You had the Cooper Kupp uncharacteristic fumble. Akers fumbled down at the 1-yard line, very freak there. And then Akers trying to seal the game, get the first down, fumbling, and Ndamukong Suh making a really nice play on the football. So 4 giveaways. And, I think at the end of the day, for Stafford, regardless of how well they started, and they were up 27-3, and I know the memes came out and everything. Oh, they're pulling the Atlanta Falcons. But when push came to shove, it was the storybook ending for this game when everyone was saying they didn't believe in Stafford, and anyone that ever questioned the trade, with Jared Goff, and anyone that ever questioned Stafford's ability to win a playoff game, or the fact that he's just an excuse. He's just full of excuses. His fans are full of excuses. I mean, all of the Stafford quote unquote haters were proven wrong. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. When he had to make the big play, he did. And, we have to give him a lot of credit. And, obviously the Niners game is right around the corner, and that's to go to the Super Bowl. And then you have to win the Super Bowl. That's a big thing with the win now approach that they've taken. But, we're talking about this game right now, and we're talking about the fact that right now, there's only one quarterback that you could argue is playing better than Matthew Stafford, and it's Patrick Mahomes. So, I just was really impressed with his ability, really impressed with Raheem Morris's defense all around. They were put in some tough positions, and, sure, they may have given up a few touchdowns, but think about how poor, the offense put them in those positions, and those that the ball handling, the management. Just you got to take care of the ball better. You're not always going to play games like that, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And the fact the Rams were able to hold on and win this game on the road, against a guy that is almost unbeatable, in the playoffs, it says a lot, and it shows you that this team has not only grown up, but Sean McVay's grown up. And we talk about Bill Belichick, and people want to compare those two. Belichick started his career out not with the greatest start, and he started at 38. Think about Sean McVay now, at age 35, he just turned 36, I believe today, actually.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Sean. But, he's sitting there at 36. He's in position to go to the Super Bowl if they win this weekend. He also has one of the members of his coaching tree in position where if he wins, he goes to the Super Bowl. So you talk about a guy at 36 that already has a coaching tree, and a guy at 36 that is learning from his mistakes. We've been very critical of McVay, but it's because you and I do like him, and we appreciate what he's done for this team and turning them around. But we also, as any fan or any analyst has to realize he is still young. And so to see him at 36, already potentially going to his second Super Bowl, we'll see what happens this weekend, but, he's in position to go to a second Super Bowl of his career, another playoff, bunch of wins and things all in that nature. And then on top of it, you and I started off at one point in the season saying Sean McVay just simply can't come back from behind. And now all of a sudden, Sean McVay's Rams are winning games when they turn the ball over 3 times. Now they win it when they turn the ball over 4 times on the road against Tom Brady. I mean, I got to tell you, the fight that this team has, just Sean McVay has really absolutely changed the culture and has revitalized this organization. They're a powerhouse right now. I mean, let's call it like it is. Obviously, the Rams have to win a Super Bowl to complete that, but it was a full team effort, and they may have collapsed, and it was embarrassing, but I'm just, ultimately very impressed how this team is now one of the top dogs, and they should be considered a threat to win a Super Bowl any year the way things are going right now. PrizePicks is the best app you've never heard of. You can choose between stars from all sports, 2, 3, 4, or even 5 players to increase how much money you win. Join PrizePicks today by using our promo code DTRAMS and get a double deposit on your first deposit when signing up with PrizePicks.
Girls, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of finding a bush when I go down in my man's chimney. Dear Santa, all I want this holiday season is for my man to have smooth jingle balls. Thankfully, Manscaped answered with the Performance Package 4.0, so I don't have to find Santa's beard in my man's pants again. Ladies, this holiday season, get your man products that will leave him smelling fresh with their all-new ultra-premium body wash and a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. It's time to give the man in your life the gift of beautiful skin, hair, and balls this holiday season. Go to manscaped.com and use code DTR for 20% off plus free shipping. Yeah, I thought Sean McVay did a great job play calling this game, and like you mentioned, I think he's really grown this season. And I think at the beginning of the season and maybe mid-season, play calling was an issue. Definitely a lot of times where, he was making questionable calls, but I think you see now where he's adjusted and he's really gotten back to the run game. And that could be because of the addition of Cam Akers, but I think he was starting to kind of slowly work his way there even before Cam Akers was fully healthy. And I know a lot of fans had an issue with his play calling in the fourth quarter. A lot of people thought that he was playing it too conservative, and that's why the Buccaneers were able to come back. But I don't necessarily think that that's why the Buccaneers were able to come back. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we fumbled the ball 4 times.
Yeah.
And a big issue with that has been Matthew Stafford throughout the season, not this game, but throwing interceptions. He didn't throw 1 interception this game. It was everyone else who could not hold on to the football. And I don't know if that's mental or not. I personally think an issue with this Rams team has been finishing games out this season. If you look at all the games that we've played, I mean, we give up significantly more points in the third and fourth quarters, and that's when we tend to break down. This game was no exception. So you can make the argument that it is mental, maybe getting excited too early, and then you add in bad ball security and just really silly plays and things like that. Thankfully, we were able to win and able to pull it out. It should have never gotten to that point, in my opinion, because I think that for a vast majority of this game, we absolutely dominated the Buccaneers. And again, defense wins championships, but our offense, and you see it in this game and you see it in other games, for the Rams, it's really contingent upon the offense. Because when our offense was playing well, and we'll just use this game, I don't even have to bring up other games, we are absolutely lights out. We were totally making the Buccaneers defense, which, by the way, is a very, very good defense. When they're fully healthy, they're arguably one of the best defenses in the NFL. And we were absolutely making them look silly for a majority of this game. But the second that our offense starts to break down, make some bad plays, get a little ahead of themselves, look a little lost out there, maybe the play calling was towards the end of the game a bit too conservative. I'm not saying that it wasn't. Whatever it was, when our offense isn't running smoothly and running well, that's when this team starts to break down. On defense, I think that we played a pretty perfect game for the most part. There was some parts where I felt like, again, kind of where we had left receivers open, especially towards the end of the game in the fourth quarter, like Mike Evans kept just appearing out of nowhere and catching the ball. And I was like, what? Why is no one covering Mike Evans? And then finally Jalen Ramsey started to cover him, but he did beat Jalen Ramsey on that one touchdown.
That was weird. Do you know what happened there? Because here's the thing is that I
think Ramsey wasn't, he got the step on Ramsey. And I think it was because Jalen didn't expect the ball to go that way. And it just takes half a second. Mike Evans is. It's
just so weird though.
Receiver.
He stumbles, and it's like Alexis. He's playing the trail technique, which is like he's gonna pick that off if he, because that's the thing. He stumbles at one point, hesitates, but he's in perfect position. He's attached to the the left hip of Mike Evans, perfect for the trail technique. You bait the throw and then you pick it off. And I thought that was going to be picked. Tom Brady threw an incredible pass, but I still feel like, there's something weird. I thought he pulled up, maybe had a hammy, but no one ever really pointed it out. It looked really unorthodox of him.
I just think he got beat.
I mean, he absolutely did.
And listen, it doesn't make him any less good of a corner. It happens. It's bound to happen. At
Trayvon Diggs fans would disagrey on Twitter.
well, yeah. I won't comment. But I just think, again, sometimes, with this defense, you just notice that there is a breakdown in coverage a lot, and maybe it goes into the bend don't break. I don't know. It obviously was just concerning because we were starting to lose the lead more and more and more, and then all of a sudden Mike Evans just is invisible and then appears, and it's like, where the hell did he come from? I think of the meme where the Office meme where Dwight's standing there and Angela just appears behind him. That was what Mike Evans was. It was like you're watching the play and then all of a sudden Tom Brady throws the ball to Mike Evans and he's right there. And I was like, how the hell did he just appear?
Yeah.
So I don't know what the answer for that was. Again, I just think, unfortunately, the fourth quarter all around was just a massive breakdown. I mean, we don't have to relive it. It was embarrassing. It shouldn't have happened. We still won. That's what matters. And hopefully it gets corrected. I mean, I think going against the 49ers, which we'll talk about in a separate episode, the emphasis on ball security, we just can't do it.
No, you can't. And, I think the thing is that you're not going to fumble the ball 4 times in a game. It just doesn't happen very often. So, I mean, once again, it took some crazy thing for them to get back into it. But, in this time, McVay learned his lesson. I think, the last time with the Rams and the Niners, the games were very similar, although the Rams dominated the entire game this time around and the Niners really dominated the second half in week 18. But, very similar games. And really what it comes down to is the Rams deciding to just run out the clock and punt was really the dumb decision. And we knew that. And Jimmy Garoppolo went down the field, all of that. But McVay learned his lesson and didn't do that and didn't give Tampa an opportunity. They didn't play for overtime. They didn't do the play not to lose approach. They had Matthew Stafford. I mean, I don't know what he was doing. He said he was trying to run a quarterback keeper there. It was really bizarre. But then, they had him throwing down the field and, he finds Cooper Kupp open. Down the left sideline, he totally breaks that guy's ankles, falls down. And then the last play before the Matt Gay field goal, he's essentially running a route to break all the attention, get all the attention away from the other guys that are going to come over with the shallow crosses and things like that. And Stafford's describing it as for the love of the game route, where Cooper Kupp is never getting that ball because he's just running straight down the field to attract all the attention. Essentially, he is the Rachel Green in Friends when they just said go long every play. But he's actually open because what ends up happening is that they are, what it looks like it's cover 0. And there's a lot of miscommunications on that play. But it's cover 0. You have the linebacker, Levante David. Really what's supposed to happen here is that when Kupp is going up the seam like that, and the reason Antoine Winfield is the one to get him is because he comes open. One of the safeties stops. He stutters because basically David is supposed to either blitz or, keep going. So when he sees David pulls up and doesn't blitz and it's not cover 0 the way it's supposed to be, it opens up that extra little bit of a crease because the safety has now watched David not go. So now the safety has to make up for it. So that's the trailing safety. That is Antoine Winfield who makes the tackle because he wasn't sure if David was going to come up the seam or not. And when he saw him just stay back, but not actually rush, and kind of drop into coverage, he was so confused by that. So then he realized he has no help over the top and has to go and get Kupp, and it's too late. So incredible job by Stafford, had the pressure. Why they decided to blitz him there when they apparently were trying to play for overtime is beyond me. Blitzing Stafford only goes, wrong, it seems like this year. So just incredible job by Stafford in the face of pressure to deliver that ball and deliver it well, because I'll tell you right now, we just watched it in the Chiefs and Bills game. if Kupp scored there would have been enough time for the Buccaneers to go down and try to have a miracle. Because Kupp doesn't score and he pulls up and he catches it, I'm not saying, Stafford did that on purpose, but I do think Stafford was just trying to make sure he caught the ball. I don't think he was trying to lead him and risk overthrowing him. And I think because of that, Alexis, because he went down, it didn't allow Tampa to ever get the ball back, because now you just kick a field goal to win the game. Very highly likely you do, and very unlikely somebody blocks that kick. Whereas we saw in the Chiefs and Bills game, Tyreek Hill scored too quickly. And if he went down at, say, the goal line and they kind of tried to milk clock, Josh Allen probably doesn't get that opportunity to go down the field again. So, you kind of see it's weird, but it's almost like there's such a thing as scoring too quickly. And I feel like the Rams did the right move there. Cooper Kupp went down. They had to spike the ball, but we saw, Mahomes, he came back with 13 seconds on the clock. And Tom Brady is Tom Brady. So we know, the best course of action is to keep him on the sidelines at all costs. I'm glad they did it.
Yeah, just if any of you guys watched the game last night between the Chiefs and the Bills, we thought that our game was intense.
That was wow.
Which it was. They both were intense. Ours, was obviously very different because we had a very large lead and then gave it up and then came out with the win. With the Bills and the Chiefs, it was just close the entire game. It was just, and here's the thing, guys. It is of my opinion, and we'll talk about this more, that the Chiefs will be going to the Super Bowl, because as much as I'm cheering for the Bengals next week and like the Bengals, I just think their offensive line is if you've watched any of the games they've played in, is just...
Or your ASMR.
Yeah, or my ASMR video from the draft
last season. You did warn
them.
You're like, I'm scared for Joe Burrow. His torn ACL, and now he has no offensive line. At least they have Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I know.
Dear God.
Literally the Bengals offensive line. I just think the Chiefs are going to obliterate them. So we obviously don't know that the Chiefs will be in a Super Bowl, but I'm just going to throw that out there that I think that they will. I think they have a pretty easy road there. But yeah, guys, moral of the story is Rams won. That's all that matters. We're going to be back later in the week to discuss our matchup against the 49ers in LA in our third meeting this season. It's going to be intense and a game that hopefully we will win and advance to the Super Bowl.
Hopefully.
So, hopefully. Very exciting. But guys, as always, if you like what you hear, please like and subscribe. You can follow us on social media at Downtown Rams. You can follow me on social media at the Alexis Craft on Twitter, and you can follow Jake at JKBogan. Like I mentioned, we'll be back later this week to discuss our matchup against the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. But until then, guys, stay safe, take care, and go Rams. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code DTR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and make sure to use code DTR. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
PrizePicks is the best app you've never heard of. You can choose between stars from all sports, 2, 3, 4, or even 5 players to increase how much money you win. Join PrizePicks today by using our promo code DTRAMS and get a double deposit on your first deposit when signing up with PrizePicks.